Overwatch 2 Esports is back, and that's great news, but has some baggage along with it, something that might affect esports and sports actually in the future. If you want to know more about the Overwatch Esports change, the tournament structure, the different regionalization, the LANs, how to get into that, I'm going to have that linked in the comments because I have a full discussion of me reacting to it live, looking at the not just the video that was posted, but also many of the articles posted with more information, discussing about the lack of Australia and the lack of China involved. It kind of sucks. But today I actually want to focus on maybe the most important aspect that wasn't talked about enough yesterday, something that is a little bit problematic, very troubling, and what I recommend as a solution, which might be a little bit different than what other people would recommend. Let me know what you think, and remember guys, don't just talk, walk the walk.
We're super excited that the qualifiers will all be run through FaceIt. FaceIt is going to be the connection to the esports circuit that will provide...
And this is where the other shoe drops. So let's talk about what FaceIt is. FaceIt, pull up the Wikipedia page, is an esports mirage platform founded in London in 2012. Is ministered leagues for games. Is not the FaceIt esports company. We're being acquired in 2022. We're being acquired by Savvy Games Group, a holding company owned by the Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. The Saudi Arabia Public Investment Fund is the sovereign wealth fund of the Saudi Arabian government. So let's talk about this really quick. I'm going to address this right now, and I want you guys to listen really carefully, okay? Because this might be the most important 2 minutes of your entire week, all right? Maybe it'll be 3 minutes, I don't know. There's an amazing video that I have yet to watch. At least I can't speak for it, but I hear it's amazing. I'm planning on watching it, and I encourage you to watch it from Sideshow. You guys remember Sideshow? Poisoning Esports, We Should Care, and so on. I'm going to leave the details up to him, okay? Let's just put it this way. Saudi Arabia has some really questionable choices when it comes to human rights, okay? Some really questionable choices. And I think in the international corporate world that we live in right now, it can feel very overwhelming knowing exactly what to do about this, okay? It can feel very overwhelming because what are you going to do? Not watch Overwatch League or the Overwatch CS or not compete? Or are you just not going to play Overwatch because Overwatch is... So we have this difficulty where it's like you want to do the right thing because you don't want to support the Saudi Arabian government. Not the Saudi Arabian people, but the Saudi Arabian government. You don't want to support the Saudi... Because this is where this is coming from. This is not even a corporation or a business in Saudi Arabia. This is the Saudi Arabian government, okay? So you got a really tough... So you could either choose to boycott that, but that's going to be hard for some people. And also it's going to feel like very much a drop in the bucket, quite literally, just nothing, right? Or you could choose to ignore it and just choose, it's not going to matter. There's nothing that we can really do about it. It doesn't really mean anything boycotting. They're going to do it anyway. So like, what's the point? Or here's what I'm going to recommend. If you choose to boycott it, good for you. But you're not exactly fixing the situation, and you're not exactly helping the people that are currently suffering and struggling with the human rights violations that Saudi Arabia and the surrounding countries struggle with. You are doing something that might make you feel better. Good for you. You might ease your conscience. Good for you. But you're not making the situation better. And to be honest with you, I don't think if you want to boycott, then that's your right. Here's what I would recommend instead. If you choose to boycott, great. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is. If you really want to make this situation better, if you want to make the human rights violations in Saudi Arabia and other places better, do your research, find a charity that actively supports and combats that kind of those type of violations, and put your money where your mouth is. Donate what you can. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk. Because you're right. This is not going anywhere. This is not going anywhere. It would take a monumental boycott beyond anything that we've seen before, and won't happen to actually do anything to even put a drop in the bucket of what Saudi Arabia has to offer. But you know what? All that time and all that effort and all those angry responses on Reddit and Twitter that you have, you could just donate money. Now, is that going to fix the solution necessarily? Or fix the problem, rather? Not necessarily. But it's going to be way better use of your time than anything else. So don't just ease your conscience by boycotting. If you want to boycott, be my guest. More power to you. I respect it. But I will not be boycotting. I will be donating. And not only will I be donating, but the plan is that anything that I do content-wise for the future of Overwatch Esports, whether it's in the description or the intro of the video, I'm going to ask and remind people to donate. And I'm going to do my research on what charities are going to be the most bang for their buck. Because there's a lot of crappy charities out there, but I'm doing my research on what's the best charities for the bang for buck for this particular region and what they need. So put your money where your mouth is. Don't even take my word for charities. Go do your own research. These people are worth your time. The people that are in Saudi Arabia right now, and that area is suffering. You may not know who they are. You may not know them. You will never see them, but they are worth your time. Go research it. Go put your money where your mouth is. Enjoy the Overwatch Esports and treat it as an opportunity to help people that you otherwise wouldn't. See, this is the blessing in disguise, okay? Is it bad that Saudi Arabia is now putting their fingers in and everything else? Yes, the Saudi Arabian government, okay? Yes. But this is an opportunity for you to learn about people that you otherwise wouldn't even know or think about and to help those people. Thank you, Overwatch Esports, for this opportunity to bring to light a really ugly situation, bringing esports back, but also allowing thousands of people the ability to donate to help those people. Not just awareness, but action. Do it. Do it. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna watch that sideshow video, and then it's when stream's over, and I'm gonna do my research on charities, and I'm going to do something. And you and me, we need to do this. Let's do something, okay? Do something. All right? So put your money where your mouth is. Enjoy the esports. Don't feel guilty about it. Saudi Arabia is going to be everywhere, man. They're getting everywhere. It's the same thing with China. They're everywhere. You can't avoid it. So instead of sitting there and being like, oh, I'm not going to buy an iPhone because, the Chinese sweatshops, do something about it. Enjoy your iPhone, right? They're going to be sweating anyway, but do something about it. Use your iPhone to donate money, right? Take some action. Tell your friends. You know what I'm saying? I understand. Let me be very clear. I understand that this is a very nuanced discussion. I don't think that my answer is just like, oh, obviously the answer. I think that there's going to be a lot of people out there that be like going to be very upset with me for not calling that to boycott, right? And I respect anybody that chooses to boycott. But I'm trying to find like what's the most realistic solution that's actually going to do something and isn't necessarily cynical, but isn't necessarily overly optimistic. So do something that helps people, really. Don't just do something to make your you feel better about it. But like actually do something, Yes, you can, Lost Crusader. Of course, I'd be very interested. So, it's sad, but you also have to look at this as like this is going to be an opportunity for people in esports to be able to keep their jobs.
In my online
thanks for the sub. Oh, by the way, there's another sub. Was it Chase Nave? Thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. Sorry, but I think that like we have to look at this as at face value and be like, those people are going to be able to keep their jobs. Now, some of you might be like, well, they don't deserve to keep their jobs if Saudi Arabia is going to be propping them up. But man, that becomes a slippery slope, and you could apply that to a lot of people. I understand that this is a very nuanced and difficult conversation to have. Unfortunately, guys, here let me make you feel a little bit better. You want me to ease your conscience a little bit? Okay. There is no good solution here. Nietzsche said, oh my goodness, thank you for the gifted subs. I appreciate that. Majomi, Proverbial, Froki, Schmeb, Sudden, Synodon, Crimson Map, Lexa, Whale Whiskers, and King Boss. I really appreciate the gifted subs. We're getting, that is 10. Thank you so much. We're getting there, guys. We're almost to the Partner Plus. But anyway, so here's the thing. I don't think there's an easy solution here. There is no good solution. You boycott, you donate, but it's still not good enough. Saudi Arabia, like where do you draw the line? Like the thing is you have to. Here's the way I look at it. Okay, here's the way I look at it. All right, maybe this is not perfect. Maybe this is flawed. But I instead of removing myself from those headspaces that I find toxic or flawed or even just evil, stay in that headspace and grow a garden. Make it better. Because I think it's very easy to remove yourself from spaces that are ugly instead of actually making them better. And I think that would be a good goal to have. Hey, Jobby, do you think they learned from their past mistakes in Overwatch disregarding Saudi? I'm not sure, honestly. And again, I want to be very clear as well. We're talking about the Saudi Arabian government. I don't know. I've worked with a few Saudi Arabian players, and I enjoyed working with them, and they're good guys. And I think that the vast majority of the Saudi Arabian people, like any people, there's no one difference. The Saudi Arabian people are fine, I'm sure. No different from anybody else. It's the government. You give people power, bad people power, they do bad things, okay? And you don't, they do, so this is not, should never be used as fuel in any way, shape, or form. You could do both, and strikes work out, but you need to hit something that hurts, something that will either inconvenience people so they speak up, or hurt someone money, something less on. Right. I understand that. Yeah, 100%. So anyway, I guess the TLDR is this is a very complex and nuanced topic. I don't think anybody really has the full answers on this. I encourage you to put your money where your mouth is, and not just to put your money where your mouth is, to put your time where your mouth is. Actually do the research. There's, I'm sure, a lot of crappy charities out there. Find what's going to help. Do you even know what the Saudi human rights are? Do you even know what the Saudi human right violations are? Don't repeat what you saw on Twitter on a Reddit comment. Go find out, and then go donate to something that's going to address that. And honestly, even if it's not even in Saudi Arabia, do you think somebody in a different region of Africa or Asia or North or South America is gonna feel, help somebody? Take this as an opportunity to help somebody. That's all there is. All right. Every time something negative happens, use it as a Kickstarter to do something positive that otherwise you just wouldn't think to do. So are we going to defeat Saudi Arabia with love? No, we're not. We're not trying to defeat Saudi Arabia. That's not what we can do right now. That's not our job. I don't know that we can do that. If you guys are in positions of politics and can make choices, then I encourage you to do that, to discourage that sort of action. But what we can do is we can make other people's lives easier, and make other people, during this moment of trial and difficulty, that we can make their lives easier. That's a victory in itself. Now, I'm not planning on coaching this league. Not planning to. Java Monkey, thank you for the sub. Yeah, again, I know it's a difficult time, and I hope that there's no Saudi Arabian viewers that take offense. I mean, no offense to you or your people. I just take offense to how your government handles things. And again, I am not saying America's perfect either. Really, any country is perfect. But I think that at some point you have to kind of draw a line, even if it's relative, right? Even if the line is relative. Let's face it, guys. Like, relativity does matter, sadly. We can't be as objective as we'd like. And at some point we have to put a foot down. I did this last year when I worked for the Saudi E-Leaks. And I think it's part of the discussion. And I don't think, I'm a little not sad, because people are so excited, but I hope that more people say this. I hope more people say this. I would encourage you guys in your own communities to ask your friends if they also enjoy esports to consider donating as well. Yeah, those were the longest 2 minutes. My bad. I knew it, guys. I knew it. My bad. All right. That being said, great news. Love to see it. I hate to see FaceIt, but I love to see that Overwatch Esports is back, and I love to see that this is an opportunity to actually do something.